Welcome back, students. This topic is about inheritance, a very important concept in object-oriented programming. And here we are talking about the inheritance in Visual Basic language. Now, what is an inheritance? As we have already seen in the book, inheritance basically revolves around one concept that is called reusability. How we can write the code once and we can use it again and again. Right? In the previous few videos, what you have seen is that how we can create a simple one class we have created, and we put some methods and we put some variables, and we are using those methods and variables by using an object, right? So in the last video we saw that how we can create classes in different ways, right? So like if you look at this example, this is the same example that I'm carrying from the previous video. If you are following those videos, here we have a class called input. Okay, now in this input we have some methods, and you see I have this time I have specifically used the word called public. Previously I have not used that word public, and I will be talking about these are called access modifier. So there are different types of access modifier. Public is not the only way. So if you see public, right, so there is, you can see private, right. These are so public I have already, I'll be using it. There is private, there is protected, there is protected friend, right. Shared I have already shown you. So there are lots of access modifiers that you can have with your class in Visual Basic. So right now try to understand the concept of public. So what I'm trying to do is that public means if I declare my uh, so-called your variables or the methods as public, then they are accessible to objects, all the objects of that particular class, right? Also to the derived class. Now what is the concept of this derived class? We'll understand. So let's look at this class first. We have a class by the name input, and we have some variables like length double, breadth double, result double, and ready, that is for radius, that is also double. All right, all of them are of access modifier. I kept it as public. Now we have a sub procedure which is called size. So when size will be called, it will simply ask please enter the length, please enter the breadth. Fine. And then we have another sub procedure called radius. When radius will be called, it will just ask please enter the radius, right? And you will put it. So this is a single class. The class starts here and here, right? Where all these methods and variables. Now we come to the next class. Now here is the special thing about. So this is how we do the inheritance part. We have a class whose name is called shapes, all right, and we have to use a colon, okay, and we have to use the word inherit. So inherit means this shape is inheriting all the properties of the, not all, the public and the protected properties of the class input. So from where it is inheriting, it is inheriting from this input. So that's why you have to write this class name. All right, so we have this class input, so we are inheriting, the shape is inheriting from the input, right. Now inside the shape itself, it has got its own set of variables like area, cost, public, and notice no public over here, okay, price. So these are the one. Now it has got a method called circle, okay. Now notice one thing, when circle, inside the circle we are calling, this is the calling part, all right, we are calling who? Radius. All right, now does radius belong to the shape? The radius does not belong to the shape. Radius belongs to this class which is called input. So isn't it this shape using the radius which is in a different class? So that is what is, we have written the radius once and some other class is using it, so that's why it is called reusability. So we are using methods and method functions and so called your variables, all right, from other class, we are using it in this class. Now why can we use it? That's because shape inherits from input. Similarly, now once you ask what will happen when radius will be called, it will say please enter the radius, and you will enter the radius. Now where is that radius getting stored? It is getting stored in this radi variable, right? Now notice here area is 2 into pi, okay, 22 by 7 into radi. Now this radi, does it belong to the shape? No, again it belongs to another class which is the one from which is in input. So can you see the ready over there? So that means we are using the methods as well as the variables of the other class. Why we can do it? That's because we have inherited from input. Alright. Similarly, rectangle is calling sides. Then it is finding the length and breadth, which does not belong to it, and finding the rectangle. Then what we do? We find same for the squares also. It calls the sides and finds this one. So these are the different shapes whose values are taken from the previous class. It finds the cost. Now basically it will ask per square inch how much painting cost is. Then whatever your area is into the total per inch cost, it will multiply, and then finally we have a display. So important things to be noted. In this class, there is a method called sides, radius, and some variables, which are being used in this class, whose name is called shapes, and which inherits from input. Alright. So now this shape has got its own variables, as well as these are the methods of this. Now let's come to the main. If you look at this main, OB is an object, but object of whom? Object of shapes. So that means, remember what is the concept of an object? An object belongs to a class. So this object belongs to this class. So the object can only call the member of that particular class. So see, OB is calling what? Circle. So is it fine? Yes, because circle belongs to shapes. So it can call. OB calls what? Calculate cost. So you can see calculate cost also belongs to the circle, to the shape, and similarly display. So that means what? But when circle is called, which is a method inside the shape, right? When circle is called, it is calling what? Radius, which does not belong to him. It belongs to some other class. And because this class is been inherited, so I can use that one over there. Now see, this OB, alright, is a object of shapes and is calling its own method. Now notice if I say OB dot, right, and can you see that it is showing all this also? Now notice it has got length, ready, result. Remember these does not belong to the shapes, right? But if I go to this so-called sides, right, OB dot sides. Okay, now see, does side belong to this shape? No, but OB is an object of shape which is accessing side which belongs to that input. Why is that possible? Because of the word inheritance. Alright, so that's why. So if I now I don't want to do that here. So let's say I run this one. So what will happen? Circle will call the input, so it will ask me the radius. Then it will find out the area. Once the area is found, then it will calculate the cost per square inch, and then finally display the result. So that's basically, because I called only circle. Similarly, you can call rectangle or whatever. So let's say the radius is 21. Okay, per square this one, and see it is calculated. So this, please enter the radius, please enter the please enter the radius and all. These are where? These were in some other class, and we just to show you what happens. Let's say I have a simple class ABC. Alright, now this class, does it inherit from anybody? No, right? Now if I call that sides, remember sides, I'm calling this sides. Let's say I have a sub procedure XYZ. Okay, inside this I call this sides. Can you take? No. Why? AB, sides belongs to whom? Sides belongs to input. But this ABC, does it inherit from ABC that input? No. So that means this class have no knowledge that what is this side is, because it does not inherit. But the moment I give inherits, and I say input, alright, now see the error is gone. Why? Because that side belongs to input and this class inherits from this. Another way, see, if I say inherits shape, can you see the sides are also gone? Why? Because shape is this one, right? And the shape inherits from input. So indirectly, can you see how we are accessing all of them? Shapes belongs to input, but sides belongs to input. But since shape has been inheriting from input, so if ABC inherits from shapes, then I can obviously access this one. So isn't it? We declare a class, we put all the methods over there, then we can use it over and over by using this concept of inheritance. There are many complex issues with inheritance that I'll be discussing in the next videos. So this is just like an introduction to inheritance. What we have learned today is that how we can create a class which inherits from other class. And then remember, in inheritance, if we are going to use an object, the object always, in most cases, the object always belongs to the derived most class. Now what it means is this is what is called a base class, all right, the one which is not inheriting right now from anything, all right. And shape is called the derived class. So inheritance what we will do is that we were going not going to make the object of input, and through that object I cannot access shape. But because shapes inherits from input, so that means I'll make the object of the shapes, and through shapes I can access the members of the base class, provided I have the proper access modifier. So there will be a topic on access modifier also, what they can do. Right now you can see that I can access the means members of the shape as well as the input class. All right, thank you.